Khajiit welcomes you, and also your coin.
I just got home from work, and well, as I seem to be getting older, I find myself less and less interested in super long games. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some games that have amazing stories that are told in 25, 30 hours, but sometimes I find myself just going on Google and searching for games that you can complete in under 10 hours. And well, for these two games that I found over this past weekend, well, oh boy, did they scratch an itch that I didn't know I had. Far Lonely Sails and Far Changing Tides, two games developed by Octomotive Studios, a very small indie developed studio that I honestly think you guys should go check out. Go buy both of these games. When I played them on the PlayStation 5, obviously, but if you want to pay for it, it's $14 on the PlayStation 5, but it's also free for Changing. Lonely Sails is $14, but Changing Tides is free through the PlayStation Plus store. So go check them out. If you're on PC, PS4, Switch, they're also there. Not as free as the other one, but yeah. Now that that's over, what are these games that I'm talking about? Because when I first picked it up, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And I love these games now. I think I just kind of love every game I play. Maybe I'm just like so optimistic. I'm a glasses half full type of guy. Type of person, right? Yeah. Where this game is good for all the right reasons. This is an action vehicular side-scrolling adventure. That's literally what they call it on the Wikipedia. And I didn't know what it was, so I had to go look it up. It sounds like we're about to play Grand Theft Auto, but it's a side-scrolling game. And it's not that. It's really not that. It's a really fun it's a really fun 10-hour for both games. 2 hours for Lonely Sails, 5 hours for Changing Tides, and if you want to explore everything that these games have to offer, about 10 hours of gameplay. To this very moment, I still remember almost everything about these games. And I feel that's going to happen to you guys as well, because it's such a unique experience that I haven't experienced in almost any other game that it's kind of weird. Maybe there are other games like Changing Tides, but this is the first time that I played a side-scrolling vehicular adventure game. In both games, you are tasked as an adventurer in this post-apocalyptic world to run two vehicles. In Lonely Sails, you are tasked with riding a tank, I want to call it, across an open wasteland that used to be a giant ocean. So you'll see monuments that usually would be in the ocean, and then there are civilizations that are in this ocean that are now abandoned, or towns and villages that are no longer there, and just remnants of what used to be a sea are around you. And you're tasked in that game with collecting fuel and just making your way through this land and stopping every so often to clear any wreckage that's in your way. And that game is super fun for 2 hours. I got through that game and I was just like, is there more? And oh, there was more. Far Changing Tides. This game just expands on everything, being the sequel that everything Lonely Sails I wish I had. Now, instead of being in a barren sea, you're now on a vast ocean. Well, first starting off inland and then making your way to this vast ocean. And being a side-scrolling adventure, you'd think you'd be limited to options of what you have to do with this craft. But no, you are tasked with not only controlling the speed, controlling the wind because you have a sail, controlling your fuel consumption because not only can you ride the oceans, this craft is a submersible. You can become a submarine, taking your craft underwater and exploring the depths and different mysteries that hide underneath the water and finding unique lore that this world has to offer. And that's pretty much the gameplay. You're just tasked with controlling these vehicles to the best of your ability, making sure not to damage them along the way, and if you do damage them, there are ways to fix it. Far-changing Tides vehicle is 100 times better than Far Lonely Sails. I feel like I'm just getting these two names mixed up. I mean, listen. They decided to name them very similarly. I'm gonna have difficulty with these names, but regardless, lore. Is there even lore in this game? I mean, beyond the fact that it's just a post-apocalyptic wasteland, there's not really much else to do in this game besides just manning your vehicles and just making your way through the land. And yes, sometimes you'll have to stop and experience different structures that gives you a little hint of what happened in this world, but for the most part, there is no talking, there is no writing, there is nothing to tell you what happened in this world. There might be paintings on a wall or some structures, but beyond that, nothing else. And I don't know. I got nothing for you. I'm not even gonna look up the wiki to see if there is something for you. I'm gonna leave that up to you guys to figure that out. But for the most part, this game is barren down to the point that there's nothing to tell you what this story is about, and that's not really where the fun is. The fun is to man your vehicle, because I had a lot of fun doing that for the next 10 hours. Art style, these games are beautiful, absolutely heart-touchingly beautiful. The art style just matches perfectly with the music, and I'm not gonna get too much into both of these, but just know that once you play this, it's gonna be an adventure to remember. And I think that's pretty much it. These games are super fun for a person who has no time on their hands. And yeah, that's it. Love you guys. Bye.
Mike is tired now. Go bother somebody else.